So here in section 3, we're actually talking about how we can just adapt to stress. The question here is, can we actually habituate to stress or not? Because I guess remember that from general psychology or biology if you took those courses. For example, whenever we are hearing a dog barking outside, after a minute, we can just habituate to that sound. Or whenever we are just hearing construction workers, they are just working outside, they are just making a lot of noises, we can just habituate as well. However, can we habituate to stress if we would just experience a lot of stress every day? The answer is yes and no. We can just readily habituate to stress, but it's gonna be depending on the type of stressor that we have. And it can be subjective. It can be based on the person's background, the person who is just experiencing the stress background. And actually, it just depends on the context. For example, whatever stressor that you are experiencing at the moment. So in general, the main part of being stressed is just we are human being, and we do have we do have the ability of plan ahead and anticipate the event that is happening to us. So that's sort of, I mean, it's supposed to be a good thing because whenever you're just planning ahead, you can just actually prevent damages in your life. But the point is, whenever you can anticipate, you can be worried for nothing, for something that is not happening to you, or it might not happen to you at all. For example, you might be really, I mean, I do have a students, they are just reaching out to me, and they say that they are very stressed about their grade. Yet their grade is just A already. I don't know why they're just stressed out. They feel like the next quiz might be even harder and more challenging, and they might fail in the course because I mean, some of the questions in your quizzes, they are just conceptual, they might be very challenging, and they say that, oh, what if, for example, quiz 8 would be very hard that I couldn't answer any question. I can get that. You should be worried about your grade. I really like that, students who care about like their own grade, their future, their GPA. But on the other hand, if you already passed like 6 quizzes, you have to be a bit more positive, optimistic. You should feel like, okay, I got that, I can do that. So the point here is not necessarily that anticipation is a good thing. And however, it just brings us a lot of negative things like stressing out and having anxiety. There is another concept here, after effects of stress. It seems like whenever we are stressing out, even like after the event, it just being done, being finished, like after taking a bad test, even for a week, you feel like you don't feel like yourself. Let's put it that way. You're gonna have poor cognitive performance. You're gonna do a lot of rumination, which I do that seriously. Like if I do have a stressful situation, like a job interview or something like that, even though like that moment has been passed, still I would just actually like think about that. I would be really like regretting if I had a bad answer, if I gave them a bad answer or all that. So you shouldn't be like that because like that rumination gonna actually ruin your moment. It's gonna be very bad for your current moment. You're gonna lose and miss the moment. You're gonna be worried all the time about everything, and you're gonna have post-traumatic effect of stress in your life because even though the moment is just past, still you do have like that sort of post-traumatic effect in yourself. So, how we do have the knowledge of studying stress and how we can just cure that, like the stress and anxiety in people. We have to do a lot of observational and experimental studies, and the way we are doing studies on stress gonna be like different ways. One of the best one is just using acute stress paradigm in a laboratory. So basically, I'm gonna talk about that. So, but let's just cover different ways of studying stress. The first one gonna be acute stress paradigms. Another one gonna be inducing disease on people. Another way gonna be assessing stressful life events, and the lastly gonna be just studying minor stressful events like getting a ticket, traffic ticket. Actually, it is a major one for me. I don't like that at all. But yeah, that's the point. So the first one gonna be acute stress paradigm. So basically, it seems like whenever we are just doing a task in a laboratory, and we are being observed, we feel like a stress out. It's just happening in my research a lot because we are just giving people prompts and asking them to just watch some simple cartoons and just explain what they just watched. They're gonna get stressed by just explaining a cartoon because they know that we are just observing them. They know that they're going to be assessed based on something. So they're going to be like very vulnerable to what is happening now. So they're going to be stressed. So if a researcher would just measure that stress at the laboratory, it's going to be the paradigm, stress paradigm, observation or way of studying stress. In general, it seems like whenever you are just with someone during the experiment, and whenever you are just having a partner or even a stranger in your room and you are doing the experiment, you feel more comfortable and their stress level gonna be lower. So having a partner or having a stranger in the room gonna help you just perform better in the study. And people who are like kind of aggressive, kind of hostile, they're gonna be more stressed in general. So yeah, just be careful. If you're like that, if you are getting angry and you do have hostility and all that, you might be stressed more. They are correlated positively. Inducing disease, I don't like that at all. It's just like basically you are inducing virus to people, but like it's not like HIV or something like that. It's not crazy virus. It's like flu or like something like something that you could just cure them. It's just easy. I mean, there is no easy disease, but yeah. So you're gonna actually make people sick, and you're gonna observe their immune responses during a stressful situation, and just see how a body who is just fighting with a disease can just react to a stress or a stressful situation in general. I know you actually, I mean, thinking like, are people crazy to just put their body out there or just their health out there for an experiment? You're gonna get paid a lot. Like, there is a lab here at psychology department. They are doing the same. They are just doing some easy virus on people, and they are and the people who gonna participate in the study gonna get compensated for like $400. I mean, they are like all GSU students, I mean participants, but still, I mean, they're gonna get a lot of money. $400 is a lot, but yeah. So another way of studying stress gonna be just studying the stressful events every day. So maybe you would ask yourself how we could just measure people based on a stressful event, because like one event might be stressful for me, but not for another person. There is actually a list. It is in your book. Let me check what page was that. Um, Yes, it is like page 131. So there is a list for people, and different people gonna actually fill out that survey and rate each stressful event to just see which one of them gonna be the most stressful one. And it seems like losing a spouse or your partner gonna be the most stressful one. But for example, like losing a job gonna be less stressful compared to the rest. I guess I have, yeah, it's here. Yes. For example, divorce gonna be stressful as well. Um, oh, going to jail, definitely stressful actually. Death of a close family member, very stressful. And being fired at work. I mean, I wouldn't compare being fired at work with death in my family, but honestly, I don't know. Like for me, like being fired at work, it's just more stressful than getting a divorce. Because if you get a divorce, you can just find another husband. I mean, I should shut up. But yeah, but like being fired at work, I mean, I worked a lot to get that job, so I don't want to just get fired for that. But this is just bad for me. Jail is not bad. I feel like it's a new experience, but it's just me. I like adventure. I know like jail gonna be a bad one, but yeah, I should have stopped myself. So here it's just about some good events, which gonna help you. It seems like, for example, even like events like vacation, Christmas, or let's say Thanksgiving, they're gonna actually give people anxiety and stress as well because they have to prepare for that. Even for someone who is not a host, they're gonna get stressed because they have to just dress, or they have to just see some people that they don't like. So still, it's gonna be stressful, but it's not very high in the rank of stress. And it seems like just getting ready for Christmas gonna be more stressful than minor violation like traffic parking. For me, like traffic parking is just the most stressful situation. I hate that. But again, that's just me. So let me just check if I covered everything. Yeah. So again, back to Christmas and like Thanksgiving, events can be positive and negative. For one person, it can be stressful. For another person, it can be pleasant. So keep that in your mind. But in general, there are like some specific events that gonna be stressful for everybody, like death of a spouse or something like that. So there are some flaws in studying life events inventory. It seems like some of the events they are just very vague. For example, like Christmas, you feel like, okay, it's gonna bring me joy. We cannot understand why this is like stressful for some people, but not for the other one. Again, there are gonna be individual differences in studying stressful events. However, all of those differences gonna come to a common point when it comes to the most stressful situation. So that's why I can just at least, I wouldn't say cure stress, but we can just come up with just some coping mechanism for people who are losing someone or who have a family member who is suffering from a chronic disease or like something like that. One of my close friends, her mom is dealing with cancer, stage 4, and she's literally going through different techniques to just manage herself and put herself together, just be strong for her mom. And like that kind of techniques coming from that sort of inventory, because like based on studying stress, we know that what kind of coping mechanism gonna work on a person who has a family member with cancer, so we can just help them better. So if we would be more specific, we can help people better.